Okay, so welcome everyone. Welcome to our IT seminar presentation, webinar presentation. We are from our company is Bizload Solution, and we provide IT services and IT services and products, especially in the CRM space and the cloud space. So let me just share my screen with you guys. All right. So basically, I'll start the slide. So basically, first part of the slide, my name is Murtaza Hassan, and I'm from Bizload Solution, and this is our website, bizloadsolution.com. And this is our email address, info@bizloadsolution.com, and Murtaza Hassan at bizloadsolution.com. We're a consulting company. We've been around for a couple of years now, and basically we're very strong in the IT space, especially when it comes to complicated applications, such as like Salesforce CRM, Dynamic CRM, SharePoint, and even some other cloud-based applications. So I'll just show you quickly, just one second. So if you want to browse to our website, so this is, if you type in Bizload Solution, we're number one here, and this is our website here. So we're Australian-based IT consulting company. All right, so basically, so we as mentioned, we provide Dynamics 365 CRM services, Salesforce, cybersecurity, and I'll explain more about that in future slides. We're Australian based as well. Okay, so basically, I want to start off with Microsoft Dynamics 365. Basically, what services Microsoft Dynamics 365 provides. So Microsoft Dynamics 365 is a CRM. One part of it is CRM, customer relationship application, right? Or customer relationship management, right? And it has many areas. It's not just CRM, but it's got finance and operations, got all these other areas, right? So what type of services Microsoft Dynamics 365 provides? So one is marketing, right? So for those who want to do like bulk SMS messages and bulk email messages, you can use marketing for that. And one area is sales. If you want to increase your sales, increase your leads, opportunities. Then there's field services, and which is like, for example, if you have roadside assistant type of business and you want to allocate your resource to certain locations. And then we have like workflows. You can do a lot of workflows in CRM and Dynamics 365. Then you have Power BI reports. So you've got a lot of reports that you can make in CRM. So or you can even use Power BI reports for other applications as well, like even Excel or other data source. Then you got the portal. You got this the CRM portal website. So the CRM portal basically is the front end website where you know customers can submit information and basically and that data comes to the CRM for other reasons like approvals and things like that. So and then we've got the payment system, so you can do payment systems in CRMs and tax invoice, those type of things. We've got approvals, finance and operations for bulk payment to your clients. You got interactive form design, and you got case management as well. So also Office 365 and SharePoint. Some of you guys might have used this. Office 365 and SharePoint basically is a it's a lot of people use Microsoft Word, Microsoft Excel, and SharePoint as well. It's an intranet site or a collaboration tool where a lot of all the staff members can interact with, and it's got document management system and those type of things. So Office 365 has document management system, intranet site, Microsoft Word Online, Microsoft Excel, and it's got, you can do approvals in there as well. It's got interactive design, forms, and basically Power BI reports. All right, and then Salesforce. Salesforce is also another CRM. It's a non-Microsoft based CRM, and you can have CRM applications. You can do Sales Cloud, which is basically similar to Dynamics 365 for sales. You have Marketing Cloud, which is the actual marketing, like emails and sending emails in bulk and all that stuff, and Community Cloud, which is like the portal. Which industry can take advantage of Microsoft Dynamics 365 and Office 365 and Salesforce? So we have government departments. A lot of government departments use Dynamics 365, right? It's highly used. And then retail stores can use it as well. And then building and construction industries, they can take advantage of Dynamics 365 and Office 365. And Salesforce, and schools and universities, small businesses, medium-sized businesses, corporate businesses, medical industry, insurance industry, banks, non-for-profit organization, aged care industry, airline and travel agent industry, transport industry, any office organization, warehouse, and food industry. Okay, this is an IT system architect that we've designed. So we want to explain to you how all the IT systems are linked, right? So here's the IT system we have, and in the areas of cybersecurity, application on the cloud itself, and then computer networks. So whenever you work in a company organization, you're always given a laptop or a desktop, right? So a lot, like one company has many staff, and then each of them have laptops. And how the laptops are managed is through Windows Server, where you can manage access when you want to add users to your organization. You can add them through Windows Server, and there's a thing called Active Directory, which you can insert, which you can then therefore give access to create the user in Active Directory, and then people on the laptop or your company laptop can access and log in through the laptop. And then from there is the cloud. So we have Azure Cloud and Azure Active Directory, where you can link your even sync your synchronize your on-premise Active Directory to your cloud Active Directory. And then you have your cloud-based applications. So first, if you want to create custom websites, you have Azure SQL, you have Azure Web Applications, Azure Function. This is for your web APIs. And then here you have your Microsoft 365 applications, such as your intranet, your Word Online, your Microsoft Word Online, Microsoft PowerPoint Online, Microsoft Excel Online, and your SharePoint site and your document management system. And then here you have your Dynamics 365 CRM. So you have your sales, your marketing, your finance operations, your warehouse management, and then basically then you have Power Automate Flow. Like this is a workflow which can interact between your systems, especially Office 365 and Dynamics 365. And then you have, if you want to make custom forms, you can use Canvas apps for that as well. There's other tools you can use for custom forms, but this is one of them. And then obviously your cybersecurity, you have your areas, you have like your Citrix box. So if you want to do a very secure type of virtual machine, you can use Citrix box. And you can use PowerShell scripting if you want to do some scripting related to cybersecurity. You have your cybersecurity analysis, you have your NIST framework, you have your Essential 8 framework, and then you have your Kali Linux for your web penetration testing and those type of things. And yeah, so this is a rough diagram of or an architect diagram of how IT systems interact with each other. Now, marketing module. So now both with marketing module with both the Salesforce and Microsoft Dynamics. This is the Dynamics, Microsoft Dynamics marketing module. So as mentioned, with marketing, you can send bulk SMSs to your customers with monitoring response, or you can send bulk SMS to your customers with monitoring response. So this is one workflow you can do. You can send an email. If it's clicked, then do other things like create a lead or send another email or something like that. And then, or in this case, you might get a SMS message where You have your discounts. So if you got you got a Christmas special going on, or a Boxing Day special, or a Black Friday special, you can send your SMS to your customers in bulk. And so you have you have all your contact list in your CRM, and then you can send like SMS messages in bulk. So even if you have, like, say, thousands of customers, you can, if you want to message all of them in bulk, you can do that with using the marketing module in Dynamics 365. And this is one example of the email templates. So you can design your email templates in the Dynamics 365 CRM. You can design email templates, and then you can send emails to your customers in bulk. You have your contact list, and you can send your emails to your customer in bulk, and you can go from there. So if you ever thought about doing marketing, then Microsoft Dynamics 365 for marketing is a very good option to choose from. Or you can use Salesforce Marketing Cloud as well. And then here, if you want to view your response, right? So when you send the email, how many people have clicked, all these other information, you got certain reports, you can view that as well. And now the sales module. So the sales, basically, if you want to increase your sales, or you want to help boost your sales. So sales, one example is you have a web page or a website, and you have a registration form in there, or something like that. Someone goes or contact us form, someone goes and sends a message on there and the contact us. That data can come in the CRM in the background and as a lead, and then you can convert it to an opportunity. You can contact that client. You have your timeline here where you want to book appointments and all those type of things. And then eventually, if your customer is if you won that opportunity with your customer, you can close as won, or you can close as lost, right? And so you have this sales module here. And also in the sales module, you have your there's a thing called LinkedIn Sales Navigator, which you can use with your sales module, right? So if you have a LinkedIn account, and if you're using Sales Navigator, and if you wanted to create if you want to embed that with your Dynamics 365, you can do that as well. And field services. So basically, this is a good example of a roadside assistant. So if you know any roadside assistant company, which that repairs cars on the road, for example, replacing someone's car battery on the road. So what happens is that here you have your resources available, and you have your calendar here where you want to allocate your resource, and you can put their location where they wanted to be located, right? So this is a very good example where you can easily manage your resource and bookings and everything, and locate your resource where they want to go. All right. Approvals. So but one good example is approvals. So there's a lot of forms that are used for approval. So what I mean by approval is that if you submit an application and you want to see if it gets approved or not, right? You can use Dynamics 365 for that as well. So you use it for approval. So you might have a front-end website or portal, and from there you can submit your application through the portal, and then in the background, the staff managers of the company, they can approve or reject your application and go from there. Just 1 second regarding approvals as well. When someone submits an application through the portal or even in the CRM, email notifications get sent back and forth, right? So you have submitted your application, it is in progress. So all that data is all that emails coming from the CRM, and there's a workflow that's attached to it, which sends those emails and goes from there. So if your application is approved, you get it. You can use CRM to send a workflow to send the email to your client that your application is approved, and you might have you can even attach PDF documents or something like that in your email to send to the client. Now this is an example of a portal. So if you have your CRM portal, so they log in the portal, and we go from there. Now payment systems. Now what if you have a huge organization and you want to implement payment systems in your organization. So if you have like 1,000+ staff or 1,000 branches or something like that, and you want to pay to your branches or through your staff, you can use Dynamics 365 for that as well. So the finance and operations, you've got the bank management area, and then if you want to send tax invoices, you can send them through the CRM, and you can do bulk payment systems with Microsoft Dynamics 365. And then reports, right? So you can generate very custom reports. So for example, this is an example of a sales report. So which country produces the most sales. So you can create these Power BI reports, and you can link them with your you can use CRM as your data source, or even Salesforce as your data source, or even Excel or a custom database, SQL database as your data source. And then you have your online forms. So this is a Canvas app form. So Canvas app form, you can create custom forms in here, and you can link it with your SharePoint, and you can link it with your CRM app, and you can create very interactive custom reports. And then even here, when you click on a button here, a workflow can get kicked off in the background, and it can do things related to your form. So if you wanted to create another record in somewhere else in the CRM, you went on a button. When you click on a button in the Canvas app, you'll get submitted in when you click a button in the Canvas app, a Power Automate flow will get executed, or a workflow will get executed, and then from there you can create another a record somewhere in the CRM. Or what you can do, maybe if you want to send an email or something like that, you can do all those type of things as well with your workflow. And document management system. So basically, SharePoint is a document. You can use it for document management system. So, for example, if you want to upload your Word documents, your Excel, and it's got version control in there. So if you want to manage, it manages version for you. And if you have, like, say 5 staff members working on one Word document or something like that, or one Excel file, SharePoint is very good for that. You can use like Word Online or Excel Online through SharePoint, and you can all your staff can at one go open all that Excel file, and they can interact and work from there. And then SharePoint intranet site. So every company, every medium to corporate companies generally want to have some type of internal website for them, so for the staff to access. And this is basic. This is what intranet site is. It's an external website of a company, and you can use SharePoint for this reason as well. All right, that finishes my part of the presentation. I'll hand it over to our business development manager, Afifa, to do the presentation. So Afifa, can you want to start your presentation?
Yes, hello everyone. Just give me a minute. Let me open my slides. So hello everyone. I am Afifa Basit. I'm currently working as Business Development Manager with Bizload Solutions. So today I'll be covering what services are available with AWS, which you can use for your business. Whenever you start a business or you set up a company, choosing the right solution for your business at the right time is very important, and it can benefit you in the long run and benefit the company. So if we talk about AWS, why to choose Amazon Web Services and what services they are offering. So firstly, there is no upfront cost associated with it. You can launch your website and quite faster. And also you can experiment your product or your service quite often without any added cost. And it also focus on the core value of their business. So so what key services are available with AWS? So they offer like storage, databases, analytics, and mobile services, and then many other services which you can just think of. They are offering that. So if we talk about the security, so data confidentiality and security is very much important for any business. And so AWS offer multiple features like AWS identity and access management, key management, AWS secret manager, and AWS certificate manager to help companies build a secure cloud environment. These tools manage access, encryption certificates, and many other features to help you secure your data. Yes. So when you build your cloud environment foundation, yeah, like when you're using AWS services, so there are different features associated with it. Like whenever you open a company, like you have different departments looking after different things. Similarly, in cloud, they have different services doing different tasks for your business. Like they have like, if we talk about the AWS budgets, they will look after all the cost and budgeting for you. And similarly, AWS organization, it centrally manage all the and govern your information. So yeah, these are different services which establish a foundation for your cloud infrastructure. So once you are onto the AWS platform and you want to accelerate your development journey, then there are different tools available for it. Like if there is AWS Amplify, it is a very easy way to build serverless mobile and web apps. Then there is AWS App Runner, Amazon Elastic Beanstalk, Amazon Lightsail. So they offer different features. So these all services basically accelerate building applications by handling all the infrastructure. So developers can just focus on the code, and all the infrastructure and the front end things are being done by these apps, these services and tools. So rapidly building and developing your applications. Again, AWS has different services available, like AWS Cloud Formation. It manages infrastructure in the code. These all services and tools basically build and deliver apps. Like we have AWS Code Pipeline. It basically helps you automate the releases of your software. Like you can automate it, and the releases of your software get automated. And similarly, they have AWS Code Build, AWS Code Deploy, and then Amazon CloudWatch. So like if we talk about Amazon CloudWatch, it helps you to it basically monitor and provide a monitoring and observatory service for your data, and also provide you with the actionable insights for further decision making for your business. Okay, so then there are different computing operational models available with AWS, and you can choose based on the features they are offering for your business what operational model you want to go for. Like for example, if we compare Amazon EC2 with AWS Lambda, you can see in Amazon EC2, AWS is doing just the like it's just managing physical hardware, software, networking, and facilities. The rest of the things are being done by the customer, like application code, scaling, security configuration and management, and few other things also. And if we talk about the Amazon AWS Lambda, then AWS manages most of the thing, almost everything, and you just will be monitoring the application code. So yeah, so these are the different features of those operational models, and you can choose based on your need which operational model you want to go for. Similarly, there are different databases available with AWS, and you need to figure out which database you need to go for and is right for you. Amazon is offering variety of databases optimized for different data models like key value, document graph. Like for example, if we talk about the document database, if your data is in the form of documents, then this would be the right database for you. And if you are talking about the graphs, like if you have data in the form of graphs, then it would be the right database for you. So depending upon your data, you can choose the database in Amazon for you. So yes. Now we will talk about the no-code solutions available into the market for your business, like no-code platforms which are available into the market. And AWS is also offering Honeycode, which allows building apps and workflows without coding. So many retailers and schools and many other businesses are also using this no-code solutions available into the market. And these are some of the examples, like if you are doing forms or data collection, you don't need coding for that. So you can go for then those no-code solutions. So these are the few companies which are offering like no-code solutions, and there are many, like few big names into it, like Shopify, Bubble, Zapier. Okay, so if you can see in the top left, there is an online e-commerce website. Allbirds, it's an online e-commerce website. It is all based on no-code solution, like no-code platform. And similarly, if you just have to collect data, you can use this platform, which is called Typeform. And if you have to just build the internal apps, you can go for Airtable and Retool. And similarly, if you just need to build a website, you can use Webflow and Bubble. So these are the few companies which are offering like no-code solution to the businesses. So if we talk about the future of the software development, there is a revolution in future software development, and there are different frameworks available for it. Like we have ChatDev or Genia. We can have you can have virtual employees for that. You don't need to hire humans for it. So those virtual employees will be doing all the work for you, and even there will be different departments for it who will be doing all the tasks which humans are currently doing. So we can have those virtual employees that will do all the software creation based on a text prompt. Like you don't even need to do any coding. You just need to give a text prompt to them, and they can generate this whole framework for you and do all the work for you. So it is available with open AI and locally running foundation models on your computer. So now moving on to the generative AI part. So basically, with the rapidly advancements of machine language technologies, customers can like across industries are rapidly adopting and using those machine language technologies to transform their businesses. So with the use of generative AI, you can create new content and ideas, including conversation storage, images, videos, and music. And they are basically powered by large models, like data models on the back end, which are called as foundation models, on which those generative AI models are based on, like the one of which, the example of which is like the ChatGPT. So you can build with publicly available foundation models, which are already available into the market. Like there are different models. Like if we talk about the Meta AI, it has different models available into the market, and there are different tasks which they are doing, like question answering, chat, summarization, text generation. And if we talk about Databricks, it has a model of Dolly, and it has again different tasks like question answer, chat, summarization, paraphrasing. So you can use any of those foundation models for your business. So again, Amazon also has a AI platform, which is Amazon Bedrock, which is a fully managed service that makes foundation models from leading AI startups and Amazon available through an API. So you can choose from a wide range of foundation models to find the model that is best suited for your business. Like Amazon Bedrock, you can again do text generation, you can use chatbots, you can do summarization, image generation, and answer questioning. So yeah, it is basically an easy way to build and scale generative AI applications with foundation models. So with Amazon Bedrock, I can show you like a small demonstration also, like how you can use generative AI. So like you can go on Amazon Bedrock, and you can you just go into the top left corner, and you can choose whatever you want to give the prompt. Like if you want to give the prompt in the form of a chat, text, image. So I chose image, and then I give the prompt that to generate this image, like isometric digital art of a medieval village with thatched roofs, a market square, and a townsfolk. So it generated this image for me, and it's a unique image. You can't find it on the internet. So similarly, so similarly, if we go into the chat section, I just give them a text prompt again, that to generate a JavaScript code with inline CSS containing 5 buttons, and then it generated this JavaScript for me. So yes, so that's how you can use Amazon Bedrock and generative AI to for your business. Yes. So now moving on to the last part of the presentation. You can learn with AWS. Like you can learn different AWS cloud skills yourself. Like you can access to around 500 plus free digital courses, and there are different languages also available which you can learn. You just need to scan this barcode, and it will take you to those course materials. And similarly, you can do AWS certification, and you just need to scan that barcode, and it will take you to all the course material and all the question and test material and exam guides. Sorry. So AWS also offers like free tiers of like 12 months, so customers can evaluate services and gain hands-on experience at no charges. So then there are many course services which are included in it, like which you can access like free of cost. Like if we talk about Amazon EC2, like you can get 750 hours per month for 1 year. And similarly, these are few more services which you can see that now if we talk about Amazon S3, you can get 5 GB of standard storage and more than like 20,000 GET requests per month. So yeah, so these are the few of free tiers available with AWS. So that was all from my side. So we provide consultation and building your customized customer software based on AWS services. So yeah, so that's all from from my side, and different AWS services available for your business. Now I will hand it back over to Mr. Murtaza.
Thanks for that, Afifa. Thanks for the presentation.
Welcome.
Now Ali Iftikhar, are you in the meeting? 1 second.
Yes, I am basically just connecting. Hi, hello everyone. I'm actually not in Australia, currently overseas for a project. So 8 hours behind you. Just being connecting my stream.
We'll just wait for Ali Iftikhar. He's going to do a cybersecurity presentation. And then we'll go from there. I'll hand it over to you, Ali.
Sure, Murtaza, thank you so much. So just in the interest of time, we have currently our attendees on the call. Mind asking because we have very few. I just wanted to understand what background they have. So I'll be very, very specific. Let's start from Tony McCullum. Can I have a bit of intro? Tony, can you hear me? Okay, let's skip. We can talk with Jafar Mirza. Okay,
Yeah,
she's
hi.
in medical. Hi, Jafar.
Hi. Yeah, so I'm basically at the stage of doing a startup, offering services to councils, trying to build a web application for the local businesses. So that's my background. That's and I have.
All right. What about Ahmad Mirza? Ahmad, you're on mute.
Yeah. I just unmuted. Hello, everyone. I have just completed my AWS certification, and I just looking for the work at the moment as a cloud engineer. I've applied for a few jobs, so I find it out of FIFA's presentation was very good, and I uh, learned some few things new. Yeah, and of course, everything is to support my career in IT. It's really good. That is all from my side.
All right. So we have Priya on the call as well. Hi, Priya.
Hi, Ali.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. What about you?
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you. Hi, everyone. So I just want to build up my career in IT. So I just exploring the options. So I just want to join to gather some knowledge about it.
Mm-hmm.
So currently in medical admin. So we are using a Salesforce. So I just want
Salesforce.
to,
All right.
yeah. I'm just here to
All
get,
right.
update my knowledge.
Okay. So another person we have on the call is Muhammad Siani.
Hi, Ali. I'm a data
Hi.
consultant.
Okay. Are you working somewhere or like?
Yeah, I do consulting for different local for startups and trying to start up.
Ali, you there? Ali Iftikhar, you're on mute. Can everyone still hear me? Everyone, can anyone, all you guys, can anyone hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah.
Yeah, we can.
Okay, we're just waiting for Ali Iftikhar. Ali, you there? We'll go. Ali, you there?
Yes, I can hear you. Yeah.
Yep. So, yeah.
All right.
Continue.
So, yes, I'm just basically looking to share my screen. Yes, I can share. All right. So we have the last person, Ali Jafri, and then we'll take it from there. Ali Jafri, can I have the intro, please?
Hello, hi. Hi, Ali. I first of all like to say great presentations by both Priya and Murtaza. I have about 25 years worth of IT experience, pretty much just done, managing the software development lifecycle as a project manager, and then every other role, starting from software tester and project manager and everything else in between. The only thing I don't do is programming. But what I'm trying to do actually is move into cybersecurity. So for that, I'm kind of pursuing a course right now. But what interested me in this meeting was that cybersecurity was mentioned as well in the invite. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what I can gather from there.
All right. Thank you so much. So let's start the show, and I'll open the video. Am I just, can you guys be able to?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yes. Thank you so much. So first things first, I just traveled yesterday actually to Middle East from Australia, and due to the time zone, so I kept my presentation at the last so that everyone's gonna be finished, and then I'll start. Now, before I give you the intro about my company, what I do exactly and how it works, I'm trying to make it very, very simple for you. Let's start from cybersecurity background. There are probably around 3.3 million people being required globally in the field of cybersecurity. There's an immediate skill shortage. And if I specifically talk about Australia, so there are probably around 25,000 people required in Australia by the year 2025. Okay. So I started my company, but I'm much more focused towards cybersecurity education. Not my company, but I'll tell you there are some reasons behind it, how it worked for me, and how I also wanting to give my basically past experience or my journey that might gonna help you out in that scenario. So I came to Australia 10 years ago and I started doing job in cybersecurity, and the market was not very much mature. So for the past 5 years, I had worked with Australian Election Commission. I was the head of security. My full name is Ali Khan. That's being on the screen as well. And I have seen that there is a skill shortage in cybersecurity space. Technical people are required. There are GRC consultants that are required. There are forensic people that are required. All right. And what exactly these services are, that I'll brief you in a bit, but how it will work, what are these services are, I'll basically deep dive today during this presentation. So it's basically into our services as well, but I'll tell you what cybersecurity space is all about. So it comprises with these three major things, which comes with the penetration testing and vulnerability insight. So I'll go to a very, very deep down approach, to a very, very layman language, because we have participants from obviously different areas. So I'll deep dive in a way that everyone gonna be understanding easily. Now let's talk about penetration testing. So what penetration testing is, in a very, very simple and easy way, everybody here knows what is a website. So I don't need to deep dive more into this space. But there is a difference between a website and a web application. Application, obviously, we use Facebook, we use different types of apps nowadays, Netflix, for example. The Netflix is a mobile app. Facebook is a web application and a mobile app as well. And vice versa, Netflix is also a web application, by the way. So any site, for example, that is static, like a 5, 6, 10 pages, there isn't any database being connected at the back, that's called a website. And if there is database connected or their application, that a site that has functionalities and features, that's called a web application. So the application, any basically company or a bunch of group of people or anyone who develops the website or a web application needs to be tested as well. And why it's been security tested, what are the requirements? So in terms of, if I talk about Australia only, there are compliances. For example, how it works in Australia, let me brief you. When you develop a website, and for example, after 3 months or 6 months, it got hacked. And when you go to the government department and say, hey, we got hacked. So the company, the agency or the body, this is called ACSC, Australian Cybersecurity Center, or the ASD, Australian Signals Directorate. When you go to them and they say, hey, we are hacked, like we have been facing a loss, or like we have been into a ransomware or some sort of situation, help us out. So they ask you that, have you taken any security measures? So on that situation, you need to provide a security testing report that yes, we have closed our door. Unfortunately, I don't know, the company doesn't know the hacker does have skill set, and still he penetrated into our site. So then ACSC would be in a position to help you out. Otherwise, they would say, if you have opened the door, you have let the door open, definitely in that scenario, your site gonna be hacked. Similar cases in compliance, when you have basically taken a cybersecurity insurance or a public indemnity and professional liability insurance, same thing goes on with your internal network. For example, if your internal network got hacked, I'm not talking about the website, I'm talking about the internal network. For example, in the office, 5, 6, 10 people, whatever network they have, if they got hacked, then you go with the public indemnity and professional liability and cybersecurity insurance. Then also they ask that, have you done your internal network penetration testing? If not, then why you came here to get the claim, the cyber breach insurance money? So for that reason, these companies go through with the penetration testing, either the internal network one, or the web application one, or the mobile iOS application one. Okay, does it make sense? Any questions so far from the participants? They can raise hands. Anyone? No, so I assume that no questions still here. So now, when you do the penetration testing, there are processes involved in doing the testing. So I'll go a bit of in deep in how we perform testing. So there are certain licenses we need to achieve as an individual first, and then obviously as a company. We have to purchase certain tools as well, so certain softwares which does this penetration testing. So I'll if anyone wants to know the name, they can personally email me or write it down. I'll send them the names of the tools which we use. And then after using the tools, we do the manual penetration testing. So there are manual techniques as well, which we perform during the testing. Now, there are certain frameworks being made. There are certain standards. For example, CREST is a standard in penetration testing, which we follow. Similarly, there are SANS top 25. So there are 25 techniques are there, which we use to do the testing. And then there is another standard that is called OWASP top 10. Okay, that we also use to basically perform the testing. So these three are the popular ones. So just to make it more interactive, I will show the sample report, how it looks like, to make the presentation. All right. Interactive. All right, so this is a penetration testing report. Okay, how we make it. And there's a customer name, this type of assessment. For example, what type of assessment are there? Sometimes we do a wireless assessment as well for clients. For example, if you go into the hotels, the internet is free, so people are supposed to use that, and any hacker can basically intrude into that network and then can hack it. Okay, so usually big hotels, they request us to come and do the wireless testing for them. So this is the type of assessment, and obviously the date. This is the table of contents. And after the disclaimer, this is like we have to provide the document control, who basically made the report, the document contributors, and client details. And this is the executive summary. For example, the framework I was talking about, OS Top 10, OS, AS, VS, SANS, NIST. So these were the frameworks and guide we used to do the testing. This is again customer name, and the vulnerabilities x-axis being found. So we provide them recommendation 1, 2, 3. And this is the summary of results. How many high vulnerabilities are there, critical, medium, and low. Finding by status. Vulnerability listing. Vulnerability and penetration. I'll brief this. This is an important basically topic. So vulnerability is basically a flaw or the issue in the website or web application or during the testing. And penetration testing. So this questions will definitely be income when you join the cybersecurity space. What's the difference between vulnerability assessment and penetration testing? So vulnerability assessment is just the assessment. You're gonna take a look and let them know that yes, this website is hackable. It can be hacked. But penetration testing is the proof of concept that you're gonna hack through that vulnerability of in that system and provide them evidence as a POC, proof of concept, that yes, this website being hacked through this way, and I have shown you into a proof of concept that yes, this is being hacked. So we'll go into the, for example, vulnerability 1, SQL injection, blah, blah, blah. Affected location, for example, this would be the website name or the link or the address, and then proof of concept. So we provide them screenshots here that yes, it's being hacked. Unfortunately, this basically presentation is being recorded, so I can't share the actual customer reports. That's the reason I'm sharing the sample reports. So vulnerability 2, 3, cross-site scripting, and then we have this Appendix A tool. So these were the tools we use: Burp Suite, Nuclei, Didbuster, to basically perform the testing. And then the engagement scope, that what websites are we going to be testing. And then engagement methodology, how we basically process our testing, what we exactly do. So this is the report, and this we have at the end, the risk classification, that what types of risks are there, medium, high, critical, or low. And this is the end of the report. Any questions so far? So I'll basically move into the other topic. Any questions? Please raise your hands. Happy to answer. No questions? Okay, so I will assume. So a very usual question I got from most of the people, that how to enter into cybersecurity. And if someone has the same question, can basically raise hand, or he or she can basically privately text me as well, because depending upon people, I don't know who if everyone wants to join cybersecurity, but if anyone as an individual wanting to join, please text me privately. I'm happy to answer the certifications. Yes, please.
So hello, it's Afifa. So I have a question which you were also going to answer. So my question is the same. Like if someone starts to into cybersecurity, like if he wants to go into the contracting, like what steps to take and how to start?
All right. So first things first, if a person, let's suppose, is a citizen, let's suppose, okay, and I'm answering this in a different way because it involves commercials as well. So you need to get a security clearance, and in that case, you definitely gonna be, become a hotcake in the market. And in technical terms, what exactly is required? As far as Afifa, you just been to the AWS presentation. So the next topic which I'll be covering is the cloud security validation assessment. So specifically for you, go through with it in detail, but just for the general public, is that you have to start with few certifications. This is for general people who ask this question, and I'm happy to send you the list of certifications which are at the basic layman basically level. Okay, so there are certain certifications which are kind of a very high in demand in Australia. For example, this one, OSCP. I passed this in 2016, but still in Australia is a big requirement for OSCP. Even like you can straight away get a job of 150 or 180,000 dollars. Talking about permanent, somewhere in between contracting, yeah, 1,200 to 1,500 a day. Being given to these people who are OSCP certified, but it takes probably a year with full dedication for you or anyone to pass the certification. I don't know, maybe if a person is more clever and intelligent than me, might can basically get the exam clear in 3 months' time, but I passed it in probably in a year's time. So I started my journey with CEH, Certified Ethical Hacker, long time ago, and there are fewer certifications I have done. So I'm share you my LinkedIn. I'm not trying to basically sell myself. That's the reason I haven't been into too much detail, but I am happy to share my LinkedIn. You guys can go over there and take a look at my profile. So specifically answering your question, Afifa, that you need to start with fewer certifications, which are at the basic level. And it's not only passing the exam. Okay, you have to go through with the course material, what exactly it is. Okay, and then start learning. And there are online hacking websites as well, which ones are, if you can hack them, they won't gonna basically say you anything, because there are professional labs being built. So the professional labs where you go and basically learn how to hack. So no one gonna say, hey, why you're hacking this, any sort of penalty to you from government or that company. You're gonna, FBI or the Australian Federal Police gonna come and say, hey, you have hacked this. So I'm happy to share those details with the people who wanting to go through with it. And at the end of this presentation, I'll basically share the name of the course. I'm happy to pass some vouchers to the students who can basically go through with it, learn that course first, and then let me know. I'm happy to pass them a free voucher, and you can basically sit in the exam and clear that exam. All right. So this is my profile, au.linkedin.com/n/okali. So I'll share this with you, and there's a bunch of certifications you guys can go through. So moving back to, I hope, Afifa, I have answered your question, but I'm being more specific to AWS as far as you're going through with the cloud security stuff. So how this will work. So let's move on to our key offering again. So we provide, let's suppose, these 3 types of services. I discussed penetration testing and vulnerability insights. Now moving on to cloud security validation assessment. So cloud is a very interesting and lucrative topic these days, and a lot of people are obviously it's propagating everywhere. Let's just start with our attendees who are laymen. I'll brief you what exactly cloud is in a layman language. Let's suppose there is a apartment or a building, and different peoples have rented out that place. So cloud is also in a similar way. It gets expensive to have your own on-premise web, like a hardware or storage, hard disk, and stuff like that, servers. So now on, there are companies who basically have, let's suppose, online service where you can, just like the apartment, you can be a tenant, and every other thing like the water, electricity, gonna be basically catered by them, and you're gonna be like a tenant to that space. That's all cloud. It does have, like Microsoft do have that one for Azure, with the name Azure, and Amazon do have that one with the name AWS, Amazon Web Services, and Google does have that one that's with the name of GCP, Google Cloud Platform. So you can basically host your infrastructure or your basically data on that space, and that building, like that's anywhere, and it can be anywhere in the world. That's a different ball game, that there's a public and private cloud that we won't go into much detail, because governments basically, for example, government is if let's suppose is renting out or being a tenant to that building, so government doesn't want that building to be outside overseas, like outside Australia. They want it to be within Australia, so that their data gonna be like a within the border. So we say it like a data sovereignty specifically to that. So in cloud security, okay, so we have a question. Thank you, Ali. Can you please send me your contact details? Okay, I'll definitely send you, man. So cloud security validation assessment. Now, when these clients put their data on that cloud, okay, referring to the same thing, like let's suppose I'm moving from my house to become the tenant of that building. So during that process, might be I was not a good tenant. I just basically didn't took right measures from moving from my house to that building. So similar way, when I will be migrating my data to the cloud, basically hosting provider, I can do some mistakes, which considers under security misconfigurations. So I haven't might be not taken right measures to do the building movement and stuff like that. So in that case, what's going to happen? We gonna basically go as, let's suppose, CyberHub or like anyone, any other cybersecurity company, and they gonna basically test their security gaps, misconfigurations that they haven't basically moved on and living appropriately. Now, technically, how it would work, specifically answering for AWS. Okay. Now, if you are not basically let's make it more easy. In terms of security misconfigurations, for example, you being moved to AWS, okay? And if you are not configured appropriately with AWS, so it means you are consuming more energy, more electricity, more basically consumption can lead to a higher bill of payment, okay? So when we basically go and check the security misconfigurations, we let them know in a similar way to the tenant, hey, your fridge, for example, is consuming more energy. You can close off that bulb. You can use white bulb instead of the yellow bulb. That could gonna save your electricity. Similarly, in the data being basically moved to the cloud, there are certain measures we're gonna check and let them know that, hey, this can reduce your bill, because the bill comes into thousands of dollars. So I'll show you the report here with the cloud configuration review report. It's a sample report for Azure cloud configuration. So this is how we basically make the report. Same thing, introduction, scope of testing, disclaimer, table of contents, document contributors, These are mandatory requirements for being a formal report. And then there's a list of compliance failures. So Microsoft ensures that Microsoft Defender for database is set to on. So this is going to be, this is a security misconfiguration. So these are the things which basically usually we find out in a client's infrastructure. And this is how we provide them, see the subscription ID. So we have done XXX just to make it a sample report. So we let them know that, okay, pricing TL is a standard, okay, but they're not using it appropriately. So we make the report impact justification. This is the evidence, description, and then recommendation, what to do. Okay, and we give them, see the command line as well, that this is what you need to write it down to get your security misconfiguration fixed up. There are more security misconfigurations here again. This is how we make the report. Afifa, I hope I have answered your question. You're on mute, Afifa.
You replied yes in the chat.
Yeah, thank you. So this is the report. Any other person, anyone wanting to ask any other questions? So I'll move on to the last, basically, section of my presentation. Any questions specifically for cloud security? No. All right. So we do have like other reports as well, just like the one I showed you was Azure one, Microsoft Azure. We have AWS and GCP as well. So now let's move on to the governance, risk, and compliance. This is a very hot topic these days, and every basically organization is pretty much worried about GRC component of their organization. So let's talk about GRC, how it works, and what is the need in the country and globally as well. So let's start with a very, very familiar name, that is ISO, International Standardization Organization. So there are certain other numbers, 9001, 14001, 45001, which is for like health and safety, quality and control, and things like that. But for cybersecurity, for information security specifically, the standard name is 27001. All right. So what exactly this standard do? It's basically a check of 114 controls. Okay, 114 points that's going to be checked via checklist. Okay, this is done, this is done, this is done, this is done. Okay, and in a very, very easy layman language, these 114 controls, let's suppose I'll reduce one of them. So out of 114, one out of 114 is a check of the organization, let's suppose. And if an auditor jumps in and he would gonna go to the desk, and no one has put any sticky note on their computer or on their desk that this is the password of my, so that is specifically, that policy is called a clear desk policy. Okay, so similarly, even if for a physical security we do the audits, we need to check the entrance gates, cameras, CCTVs being basically put in place. That also comes under 114 controls. Then every year you have tested your website, done security testing. That's also a security check. For example, during that 1 year period, if your website is have done any editing, any amendments, any changes, then in that case as well, you need to basically get your website retested again. All right. So this is also one of those checks in 114 controls. Then there are certain basic checks, like, for example, just the pop-up came here for Microsoft I haven't basically installed the antivirus. So this is we have an office computer which I'm using it right now. And what happens, we do testing every week, for example, for different customers, and we have to get all the data deleted. Okay, so this comes under CREST standard, and we have to follow that standard, that we can't keep any data of the customer after doing the testing. Okay, so we have like a week's time or 2 weeks time. So I'm currently on a project here for a few months, and we have to reinstall the whole Windows again after doing one testing. So these are the checks being done by the audit. Okay, currently I'm the client in this scenario, but usually I also do these types of audit for ISO 27001, where we have to check that customer does have their antivirus installed, or whatever software they're using, that should be, paid one, not the unlicensed or free version. So whatever suppliers, whatever security vendors they have basically being in contact, we will see their NDAs, we see their master service agreement, or we see, basically see their SLAs, service level agreements. Okay, so this is basically how we basically do the ISO audits that come under governance, risk, and compliance frameworks. And then we have PCI DSS, the payment card industry data security standards, pretty much common. If you use Commonwealth or any other cards, these banks are basically PCI certified. They didn't store their Visa or MasterCard information. And then there is GDPR. That's actually a European standard.
Ali, you there? Ali, we can't hear you. Are you there? Ali, you there?
I
Guys,
think we lost him.
we lost. Ali, we can't hear you. Ali, can you hear us? Ali, can you hear us? Ali,
Can
we
you guys hear?
Yeah, we can see you. We can see you, Ali. Can you hear us?
And you can hear me as well?
Yep. You can resume your
All right.
presentation.
Thank you so much. I don't know why. So I'll share my screen. All right. So is my screen visible? What's showing the connection is.
Yep, your screen is visible.
All right, cool. So I was discussing about IRAP, and there are only 200 people in the whole Australia are there currently, and there's a big room to basically get this certification done. So this is Australia specific. It's being extracted from ISO. It's an Australian standard, by the way, IRAP. So there are certain other governance, risk, and compliance frameworks as well. ISO 27001, NISA, DESC, CSS star, SOC 2, and these are the frameworks into it. So when we just quickly conclude the presentation, when we talked about security testing, there are web application testing, blockchain testing, smart contract audits, red teaming, and then we talk about cloud. So there are GCP, Google Cloud, Microsoft Cloud, Amazon Cloud, and Oracle Cloud, and hybrid infrastructure. And then we have Internet of Things testing, Wi-Fi testing, mobile testing, embedded and ICS, industrial control systems testing that we usually do. And in governance, risk, and compliance, I just briefed you about all of these standards. So any questions here, I'm more than happy to answer. I'll wrap up my presentation here.
right?
Yep.
So I
Is
will
that-
answer this.
Is that have you completed Ali Iftikhar, or you still got something to present?
My presentation is over. I am
Okay, cool. Yep.
stopping the. Yeah.
Cool.
And I'm more than happy to answer the questions. Yeah.
All right, guys. So we've presented you guys with the CRM perspective, how that can benefit you guys, and from the Amazon Web Service perspective, and from the cybersecurity perspective. All right. I think Ali Iftikhar has mentioned his contact details in the chat as well. I will also let me just go to the chat. I will also add my website details in there as well. And I'll put my email address in there. I've got 2 email addresses, so right, and I got another Australian email address. So I've got some that is solutions. And just to be on the safe side, I'll put my phone number in here as well. Okay. This is my Australian phone number, my Australian mobile number. Yeah. These are my details. All right. Ali Iftikhar, you put in your details there as well. Afifa, if you want to put any of your details in the chat, please put it in. All right, guys. So we had a presentation, as mentioned, of CRM, AWS, and cybersecurity. I hope you liked the presentation. And if you got any questions and answers for any of these areas, anyone? Before we wrap up the meeting, any questions and answers?
So, hi, again, thank you once again for the great presentation, Ali Khan. I know you just briefly touched upon cybersecurity, but I'd really love to, like you offered, have a chat with you and speak more about GRC, which is my topic of interest. That's where I want to break into. So, in the interest of time and other participants, I'm not going to ask the questions I have over here, but I'd love to get in touch with you and speak with you later on. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for that. Thanks for that. Any other questions, anyone? Keep in mind, guys, Ali, Iftikhar, myself, and Afifa, we're very much experienced in IT. We have a lot of us have over 10 years, more than 10 years experience, and we can assist you with any questions if you want to have a career path in IT, or if you have any like if you need any IT help on IT assistance, any IT work, just let us know and we go from there. So any other questions, guys, before I wrap it up?
I have one question.
Yep. Go ahead.
Actually, in GRC, like when we are touching upon the SAP domain, so yes, people are very much in touch with GRC, and it's a large number of companies deployed GRC in the SAP site. But when we are talking about cloud and Microsoft O365 platform, how GRC is helping in that technology towards MS Microsoft domain?
All right. So the question is actually incomplete. I'm just wanting to understand first, if you're talking about SAP, which specific country are you talking about? Second thing, how many number of users are there in the company? And the third thing is that how many
Mhm.
branches are there of that specific company globally?
Okay, if I'll speak my current project, it has almost 3,000 employees and
Mhm.
8 or 9 regions. Some regions are bigger, some regions are very few, like Ireland, hardly 7 or 8 people are working there. Those are salesperson, finance persons. But when I'm talking about Italy, I'm talking about Germany, they are holding more than 300, 350 people. I'm also supporting Italy side because I'm one of the language expert as well. So my site is holding 275 employees. So it has a mixed environment, working people on SAP, multiple modules. At the same time, they are very much engaged on MS Microsoft domain. So here the condition is I saw like the SAP vendor is different. When I say the vendor, I mean their support team is totally different. They are handled by entity data, and I'm part of LTI Mindtree right now. So we are giving them support on server as well as on L1 support on Microsoft domain. So here how the environment we are. It's a kind of hybrid, definitely not purely on cloud. But however, whenever I saw like the auditors and their involvements with the SAP, then they are always speaking about GRC, but they never speak about GRC when they are auditing our Microsoft domains.
All right, so I understand your question and I'm happy to answer that. So if you are not actually the SAP company who's using that, basically you are the external third party. Am I right, Shadab? Who will be providing services?
Correct. Yeah, services provided by third party.
Yeah. So in that scenario, anything not gonna be applicable to you because you are in Australia, you are just providing them services. But to answer your question holistic in a holistic way, for example, if you were in their shoes, let's suppose, okay, in this state, as you're using Microsoft Office 365, so there is a Office 365 compliance as well. So how we work, we usually do a current state assessment, okay, on the Office 365 environment, okay, and on that environment, we basically obviously come up as a stranger, let's suppose, and we're going to take a look that what's the current scenario. So there are two types of it. What we do is a full-blown assessment or a current state assessment. Okay, I'm sharing you the report right now on the screen, which will give you much more clarity. So this is what actually being asked by this is the Office 365 configuration report. Okay, it's a sample report, ABC Incorporation, and this general overview, objective, high-level summary, and C. This is also how we basically take a look at enable Azure AD identity protection user risk policies between 2 and 4 global admins, either it's being designated or not. So it's basically the report is failed by whatever XYZ customer was. Ensuring mobile device password reuse is prohibited. This comes under medium risk, and the few compliances that are failing low as well. So we use this methodology that's called CIS benchmarking here. And using tools and manual techniques, we take a look at the authorization and access controls, encryption, logging, alerting, and network security. This is the scope, Office 365 cloud environment. So it's specific to Office 365. And then we basically recommend, depending upon the description of the configuration, misconfiguration actually. This is the impact, this is the evidence. You have 3 users out of 258 that do not have a user risk policy enabled. So then we provide them remediation. Okay, this is how you're going to go to the global administrator and get it fixed. Okay, so obviously in that scenario, we need to define the scope first, that if they're in Italy, so the GDPR compliance actually that comes under impact. SAP is a German-based company, so definitely they have all of their internal compliances done. But whatever the company who is using that, they actually have to go through with it, and they have to basically check that are we secure or not, any data leakage or anything that is basically getting our data outside. All right, can you hear me, guys? I'm just trying.
Yes, I was going
Yes, it's
through all
connected.
these. I mean, I was just having in the mind like MFA and the other.
Multi-factor authentication, yeah.
Right. So these are the part of O365 technology. And
Yes.
ICA is also, I mean, ICA is used in on a multiple domain, definitely. And just wanted to know, like in the chat, like failed and passed, these all tracing, it is done directly on the tool, or it is, I mean, taken on the system, like you run the PowerShell and then you have taken that details, how it is done, that tracing.
So as I mentioned, it's a mixture of automated tools and manual techniques. Okay. And through that, actually, we could be able to find it out how it work. Okay.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
and then we basically segregate it in a way, the severity level, critical, high, medium, low. Okay.
Got it.
This is how it works. I hope this
Thank
makes
you.
sense to you.
Yeah,
So
great.
I'm
It
more than
was
happy to help you
somehow
out.
helping me. Thank you.
Yeah. Even if it's not about you gonna basically engage us on a commercial project, I'm more than happy to jump in and understand your scope of the company and let you know that what needs to be done, regardless of you will do that or not from us or any other company. But I'm more than happy to help you out in that how it usually basically work. I hope I have answered your question.
Perfect.
Thank you. Any
All
other
right.
question?
Yep. Any other questions, anyone, before we wrap up? Just to ask everyone's gave an introduction about themselves. I think, Tony, you work in the medical industry. Is that correct? All right. I think everyone's given an introduction about themselves. Okay. Any other questions before we finish this meeting? Anyone? Okay, thanks for attending, guys. And yeah, I hope this was informative. Maybe in the future we can have more of these type of webinars to educate people and to help people with career path and even help people with any consulting advice. So yeah, cool. Thanks a lot, and have a good Sunday. And don't forget to have at least one ice cream before the weekend finishes. It's good weather here in Sydney. We're in Sydney at the moment, so very good hot weather. So have at least one ice cream or go to the swimming pool or enjoy yourself. All right, thanks, guys. Cheers.